The sixth stage of Terry Venables' journey along the preparatory path towards the European Championships. Not too many hazards so far, but it's definitely a voyage of discovery. Tonight, the head coach will learn more about the international claims of Tim Flowers in goal, the two newcomers in the centre of defence, Steve Howie and Neil Ruddock, and the midfield capabilities of Robert Lee and Dennis Wise. David Platt and Peter Beardsley back to compensate for lack of experience elsewhere. 3 players each from Blackburn, Liverpool and Newcastle, 1 each from Sampdoria and Chelsea. Glenn, let's have a look at the formation.
Yes, I'm interested to see if they do go with a 5 in midfield, which I think they will. I think Peter Beardsley will be allowed to roam about and join in the 4 others. But also, I think with Lee and Platt playing in that central role, I think they'll take turns in getting into the penalty area and causing the Nigerians problems. So that's the key thing for the game, I feel.
Well, every member of tonight's Nigerian side was in their World Cup squad. All of them now earning their living in Europe, including Everton's Daniel Amokachi, with Efan Akoku of Wimbledon, one of the substitutes. Their 4 matches in the United States showed the speed and strength in their attack, which is at full strength tonight. Rashidi Yekini, the African Footballer of the Year, supported by Amokachi, and 2 wider forwards capable of scoring themselves, George Finidi of Ajax, and Emmanuel Amenike, who's recently moved to Portugal and plays for Sporting Lisbon.
Yeah, we're looking forward to seeing Yekini and Amokachi up front. I feel that Yekini really didn't show his best form in the World Cup, but I would say with the 2 centre-halves that England have got at the moment, obviously making their debuts, this is somewhere where I would think Nigeria are going to try to explore. But Amokachi is obviously in that little translation period, playing in English football, hasn't quite yet done it, but obviously this will be a major barometer if he does well here tonight.
Well, Steve Howie hasn't yet played 100 league games, but here is yet another international graduate from Kevin Keegan's College of Football up at St James's Park. He's alongside Neil Ruddock. At times, Neil perhaps has been his own worst enemy in the past, but his greater sense of responsibility rewarded by his selection tonight. Everton fans will be having mixed feelings perhaps about this game. They'd love to see Daniel Amokachi put on a good display. He's only scored 1 goal in 11 appearances in England so far. Don Howe with the glasses. A word amongst the substitutes there. You can see Matt Le Tissier must have been very disappointed not to keep his place. Well, the milder autumnal weather has gone. There's a bit of a chill in the air, maybe an ally for England against opponents who've lived most of their lives in the tropics. England still unbeaten under Terry Venables, and after that first win over Denmark, the current European champions, remember, 5 opponents in a row: Greece, Norway, the USA, Romania and now Nigeria, who qualified for the World Cup finals, who played in the World Cup finals back in the summer. So important test for Terry Venables to measure how England are progressing under his control. Wembley, as usual, immaculate self, pitch-wise. And it was Robert Lee who charged the ball down and has run on ahead of Alan Shearer as England try and set a brisk pace here. Nigeria, the Super Eagles, playing for the first time since they lost to Italy in Boston, when of course they were just a minute or so away from victory. Lee, Liverpool's Rob Jones. Oh, Shearer! Well saved by Rufai. There's just an air of concern about that early cross for Nigeria, coming to terms with their first visit to Wembley, and Alan Shearer suddenly had a sight of goal, Glenn.
Just the start that England wanted, obviously. I think it all stemmed from Lee winning the ball from the Nigerians' kick-off, really. But Shearer, not bad, going for the corners, but a good save from the keeper.
Alan Shearer, who's last goal was actually against Barcelona. Beardsley was clearly onside, but not spotted by David Platt.
That's the sort of areas that we need Peter in on the ball rather than being up front. We need to get him on the ball in them areas, and he will open the defence up.
And here he is on the ball now. Wise. Well, Nigeria, who were robust to say the least in the World Cup, and Eguavoen again is the defender lacking the necessary discipline to do his job properly. It's a free kick here for Terry Venables' team. Now they've had a few extra days, England, this time to rehearse the set plays. What will it bring? Platt! David Platt! It brings a goal for the captain to celebrate his 50th international.
Yes, great position for England, a free kick for England. They've worked at it, how he spun round the back. A good ball whipped in from Dennis there. Great movement to lose their markers. And a superb finish from David Platt. We've seen him do it time and time again, this sort of run.
Well, it's an amazing goal record, isn't it? Every time he puts one in the net, we pointed out that this is his 24th in 50 games for his country, for David Platt.
The marking was very poor there because, you know, it could have been Platt or Ruddock that could have stuck that in, but a super time to score just before half-time. But more importantly, the fact was that we really didn't have the reins on the game. Hopefully we can get that now.
Well, just to put it into some context for you, for Platt, the great Geoff Hurst, 24 goals in 49 appearances, that was his career record. Beardsley couldn't quite reach it. Platt's pass.
Yeah, it was a great pass from David Platt. Great run from Beardsley this time, and this time David saw him, but opening him up.
Well, England go off at half-time, better placed than seemed likely in the opening half an hour, and they've got yet again to thank David Platt for that. Heading in, Dennis Wise's free kick. After Nigeria had threatened on a number of occasions, a couple of good opportunities for Yekini, England have lost Robert Lee along the way. Plenty for Terry Venables to talk to his team about during the settling in period. We should point out that with Steve McManaman coming on for Robert Lee, that's 7 changes from the side that played here against Romania. And what does give genuine cause for concern, the word from the Football Association is that England won't have another international until March, which is an awful long time when you're trying to build a side as Terry Venables is looking to do.
The plastic men are coming!
The World Wrestling Federation
Survival Series, baby!
is coming.
It's gonna be brutal!
5-man tag teams will strive to survive the ultimate test of strength.
No one will be able to help you!
It's an elimination contest. If you lose, you're out.
I'm mad. I'm really mad.
There's championship action.
Title's on the line.
Sponsored by Atmosphere. The Survivor Series coming soon to Sky Sports.
They lead at Wembley against Nigeria. David Platt, the scorer. Each have had 5 attempts at goal. Nigeria, the better strike rate, 3 on target compared to England's 2. The only corner won so far was by Nigeria. 3 offside decisions, all against Nigeria. No bookings, nobody sent off. Possession, England have had 54%, which is slightly surprising. 46 obviously for Nigeria. Ball in play. Mind you, Phil, when they have threatened, they've asked 1 or 2 questions, haven't they?
Yeah, right. We could say we don't really know too much about Nigeria. What we do know is, you know, pace and good attacking play and having good skills. That's all what's come out of this game today. And they've been marvellous. A bit dodgy at the back, but when they break, they don't half go. People have been talking about Amakachi, and he's not really a front man. Doesn't like his back to go, likes playing off the front. And that's the way he looks. He's looking lively. Yekini's looking a problem. Okocha, which is Bowley, fancies a hell of a lot. Could be playing at the Dell next season.
He could have been fined $4 million.
I'll tell you, he's really impressed both of us. He's at the hub of everything for them.
Is this down really to what they can create, or what England are leaving them by way of space in which to create, Alan?
I think when we look vulnerable in the middle of the park, when lads have been asked to go forward and play, and we're leaving, if I may say so, David Platt in a position which is foreign to him. He looks uncomfortable in there. He's itching to get forward, and if you look at, they've broke from a long way out through England's midfield and got at our back four very quickly.
So if Ince were fit and available, that's the job he'd be doing, and David Platt presumably would be somewhere that he likes to play for.
Well, as soon as we seen the goal, he said that's what David Platt's good at, just coming late into the box there to score his goals. He's been restricted in what he's good at, and we should have maybe somebody else doing that holding role in the centre of midfield. He's often going to be drawn out because that's his natural game, and where Nigeria have broken, it is in that sole position that's left open, that as we call the hole. That is left open, and they're exploiting it.
1-0 to England so far. Haven't you got to say good evening to your wife?
Yes, she had a little operation last night. Love, hope you're feeling a bit better tonight. Thanks for letting me come.
I was going to say, I'll be home at some stage.
Thank you for letting me come up.
All the best then to Mrs. Ball. Alan's with us tonight with Phil Thompson. We're watching England play Nigeria, and Terry Venables' England leading at the moment by 1-0, but the Nigerians have suggested that they have what it takes to do something about that. We'll find out next at Wembley.
It's interesting that Nigeria haven't played also for 4 months.
So David Platt's goal, the difference between the two sides. England taking full advantage from an excellent set piece, but in the free flow of the football there's been plenty of Nigeria to enjoy here, and they will surely come out for the second half feeling that they are still very much in this international. Jones, here's McManaman. Dennis Wise got in front of his defender, but too far forward for the liking of the linesman. The flag's gone up for offside.
Yeah, it was a good position Dennis took up there, but it's interesting that obviously Dennis and Peter Beardsley now have just been told go and float. Both of them have got a free role really to play around Shearer, and I think that's going to cause them a few problems.
There'll be, I'm sure, a number of armchair critics who feel they would like to see England play with more out-and-out strikers than just Alan Shearer. Adepoju. Hanneman doing the defending, but it's with Iroha. Now he's gone across. A young man who began in Newcastle's first team as a striker. Even started this season amongst the substitutes.
It's the best spell that Nigeria have had this half. The last 5 minutes they've started to control the game. But the end product just isn't quite there at the moment. But it's interesting they're taking Yekini off there now.
Well, the two main strikers have gone off. And on come Evan Ekoku, his second cap in Nigeria. Born in England, of course, but of Nigerian parentage. And the French-based player, Victor Ipepa, who plays for Monaco.
Yes, I don't know too much about Ipepa. I think he's gone there since I've left Monaco there, Martin. But it's interesting to see they've made a double change of the strikers, and maybe they're thinking, well, fresh legs up there might just open something up for them because they've had control in midfield.
Howie's header. Ruddock needed the fist of the goalkeeper. Rufai stayed down. McManaman could fire it back. Oh, it's blocked on the line. The whistle had gone. And the referee reacting to an injured goalkeeper. England might feel that the play had gone on quite as long as it had, a few extra seconds, that they were entitled to get a second goal here.
think so, yeah. I think he's caught one in the face accidentally from Neil Ruddock there. But it would have been interesting if that had been a centre half or an outfield player, whether the referee would have called the shot so quickly.
I'm sure he wouldn't.
No, but he's come to the defence there of the goalkeeper. But an interesting point, one that you don't see many times.
So Peter Beardsley and Alan Shearer, their work is done for the night. Fresh legs up front, belong to Teddy Sheringham and Matt Le Tissier.
Yeah, they've worked very hard, the two of them up front. In the second half, I felt their little combinations were just starting to gel. Obviously, Terry's very happy with them too. He's played them many a times now, Beardsley and Shearer, and it's now time to look at Sheringham again, and obviously Matthew Le Tissier.
Otherwise, Nigeria would have certainly got a draw here at Wembley. Le Tissier. As it is, it could be 2-0. Wise. A sting in the tail.
Well, it just shows you at this level you just cannot switch off. There was a couple of chances gone begging there for Nigeria to get something out of the game, and there you see Le Tissier's done a good block on the line there. But it shows the advantage of having all men back as well. In the last minute of the game, every shirt was back in its own penalty area.
Le Tissier. Here's the upfield. The England saviour a moment or two ago. Le Tissier. Sheringham to smack it across. And the end behind.
If that had gone in, Martin, that would have been a smack of Van Batsen's goal. European Championships, yeah.
Well, England beat the African champions by 1-0. David Platt supplied it, answering the call as he's so often done. The unbeaten record under Terry Venables goes on, but he now faces the frustration. It looks like 4 months until he can assemble his senior side again. Nigeria go off so close in the closing moments to equalising. They can look back on a memorable year, including the invitation to Wembley tonight, where their obvious strengths, the individual inspiration, couldn't counter-attack the problem of perhaps playing for the first time since the World Cup, the problem of some reckless defending, which gave away the free kick, which Dennis Wise took.
Welcome back to Wembley Stadium. England 1, Nigeria 0. Alan Ball and Phil Thompson are in with us tonight. Think the Nigerians can find a way back, Alan?
Well, they look capable of scoring, put it that way. And if England leave that middle of that park, and the two front lads, one of them's dropping off, Amakachi, and he's causing them problems. The two lads, the two centre-backs, don't know where to go in there with him, and he's getting the ball and he's starting things from there. They're quite capable of scoring a goal. But, as I've said, they're still naive, and the defending's poor, and I can sing and also scoring. It makes for a good second half.
I was just going to say, isn't that the way we like it, though?
Yes, I think so, yeah.
Do you think they can find a way back?
Part of the game went flat. I thought the first 15 minutes, first 15, 20 minutes, it was end-to-end stuff, great stuff, and it was a good end to it. Obviously, we got the goal and maybe bring Nigeria out a little bit more, but also maybe kick us on. And like we could see quite a few more goals.
What about England's performance? 55%, 54% was it of the possession? Haven't forced a corner yet.
Surprises me a little bit now, because Nigeria kept the ball quite well at times. They've knocked it about. See, they've got in between England, and I think with David Platt in there, and at first Robert Lee and Wisey.
So, played 6 and still unbeaten. Terry Venables, the score here tonight, England 1, Nigeria 0. 13 attempts at goal, 5 on target, 12 for the Nigerians, 6 on target. England with 3 corners in that second half. They hadn't won 1 at half-time, remember, 5 for Nigeria. Only 8 offside decisions. I think that's the first time this season we've been to a match nobody's been booked, and there hasn't been a sending-off either. The possession, 54% to England, 46% to Nigeria. The ball in play, nearly 70 minutes from the 97 played. Just kept going, didn't it? 55% of play in that middle third of the action areas in the first half. In the second half, it looked like that. 51%, 26% in England's, 23% in the Nigerian third. OK, we'll get the thoughts of Glenn Hoddle, Phil Thompson and Alan Ball in a moment or so, but right now the England skipper David Platt with Nick.
Well, David, congratulations. Another goal, this time on your 50th cap. How special was that?
It's very, very nice to get on a score sheet. It's even nicer to win the game. We've played well in patches and the Nigerians have given us a tough test. It was very difficult for us at times. They broke very, very quickly. I think you saw that we wanted to attack all the time. Everybody in the side really was an attacking player, and sometimes we left ourselves open. But having said that, it's another victory. It'll be nice, I think, to get on the back pages for football again tomorrow.
3 debutants in the side during the course of the game. How important was it that they settled in well?
It's very, very important. I mean, we're trying to get a team spirit going. The 6-day get-togethers help, obviously. The 2 lads at the back there didn't really have anybody to rely on in terms of somebody with experience. You know, if there was only one centre-half out, then maybe one could carry one through. But they've done tremendously well together. Worked very, very hard during the week. Took everything in, and it showed tonight. I don't think there was any slips from it at all.
Well, your goal coming 5 minutes before half-time, perfectly timed.
Yeah, we spent a little bit of time. That's right, Dennis has knocked the ball in. We spent a little time today, this morning, doing some set pieces like this. It's a great ball in. They've left me free there, it's easy enough.
You like those kind of opportunities, don't you?
Well, yeah, obviously. Like I said, they give me a yard there and I managed to get in front.
All right, well done for keeping up that scoring record, David. Thanks very much.
1-0 to England tonight at Wembley. Then a number of important European Championship qualifiers played tonight, of course. So, final scores. Here's a real shocker from Group 4. Italy 1, Croatia 2. And matches involving teams from these islands. Group 6, Northern Ireland 0, the Republic 4, Aldridge, Keane, Sheridan and Townsend. Table looks like that. The Republic now 9 points from the 3 they've played. Portugal 9 from 3. Northern Ireland 6 from 4 in 3rd place. Group 7, Georgia 5, Wales 0 from earlier this afternoon. Albania 1, Germany 2, Bulgaria 4, Moldova 1. That's how Group 7 looks, with Wales now, well, surely out of it. 3 points from 3 games played. Scotland 1, Russia 1. Scott Booth opened the scoring. Greece 2, San Marino 0. Finland 5, the Faroe Islands 0. Group 8 table. Greece 9 points from 3 played. Scotland in 2nd place, 7 points from 3. Then it's Russia 4 from 2. Alan Ball, Phil Thompson and Glenn Hoddle has found his way into the studio to join us. Enjoyed it, Glenn, tonight?
Yeah, it was pretty cold out there.
Yeah, so it was all right in here.
Nice and tucked up in here.
Not bad, lad.
No, I enjoyed it. It was good.
Let's get some thoughts from Alan Ball. What have we learned tonight, Alan?
Well, as we've said, there was individual performances all the way through both teams, really. They had a lot of good players in their side. A lot of individual performances for us. Tim Flowers did ever so well. I thought the 2 centre-backs coped, did okay. I thought Dennis Wise did very well, produced things for people going forward. Shearer was Shearer. Good things individually. There wasn't the edge to the game that you would like, which comes with competitive football.
Which is not Terry Venables' fault, of course, is it? He's got to do the best within the fixtures that are
We've
provided.
won again. That keeps the people happy.
Incidentally, the goalkeeper Rufai has gone to hospital for just X-rays as a result of the knock that he got there with Neil Ruddock. And great news from earlier in the game. We saw Robert Lee go off with an injured wrist. Confirmation there is no break for Robert Lee. So that's good news. Are you a little more enthusiastic than Alan, Phil, or less so?
I thought it was quite good at times. It's a horrible habit, isn't it, winning? And that's what we said. We said earlier on whether Terry Venables' winning's not sort of that important. I think it is. And it was a good result tonight. Again, coming back to it, there was some good performances. I thought Neil Ruddock was excellent. And Steve Howie alongside him. No frills, not the long balls that Ruddock was hitting. He had a tremendous game. I just thought things were good. Obviously, it wasn't brilliant all round. As a team, sometimes they didn't gel. They left big gaps where it was getting exploited in the first half. It didn't in the second half. Overall, I was quite pleased.
Glenn's a little biased. We'll get a word from him in a moment on Dennis Wise. There was a little bit of surprise about his inclusion tonight, Alan, but I think we've got some statistics that will suggest he was as effective as Glenn was saying a little earlier. 10 crosses, 4 completed, 45 passes, 39 completed. That speaks for itself, doesn't it? Caught offside just once, 10 tackles and he won 7. Good percentage rates these.
Yeah, he's done very well tonight. He'll be really pleased with himself. And I think he just vies for me with Jonesy, the right full back. I thought he had an exceptional game tonight. A lot of good covering, a lot of clever covering. Cut things out when balls were played at the back post. Got himself forward. I was pleased with him.
I think that's the plus from tonight, isn't it?
Yes.
The defence has been tested, whereas in some games, even against Romania, especially the second half when Hadji went off, they played a lot in front of our defenders and we didn't get a chance to have a look. Tonight, they've been tested because, obviously, the attacking side of the Nigeria team was excellent. And they put Rob Jones, even Graham Lasso, I thought was excellent. And they put them under a bit of pressure, and they coped, and they did very, very well.
Was there anything in those facts, Glenn, or Dennis Wise's performance that you were unaware about? Or did you expect that?
No, I thought Dennis was our most positive player tonight with the ball, without any shadow of a doubt. From the first minute to the last minute, he worked extremely hard to get space, and when he did get space, he delivered things. He made the goal for David Platt. So I think Dennis will be very pleased. It's given also Terry another major headache.
Do you think
is a nice thing to have.
Do you think it may have been the point where Robert Lee went off and he took more of a central role? He was able to get into the game more. I thought he was a lot happier when that happened. He wasn't then stuck out wide, which he was when the game started.
Yeah, this is something that we've worked at club level as well. Dennis isn't a winger anymore. He doesn't like playing wide. He can drift out wide, as he showed early on in the game, and get good crosses in, but he's better than that. He can drift inside, and he's getting cleverer as he's getting older in the game.
OK, let's just pause for a moment and hear from the head coach, Terry Venables, with Nick.
Well, Terry, well done. How encouraged were you by that performance?
Very much. I think I was very pleased with tonight because there's no doubt, it's as we said, you know, this team is going to be at the races and they're they're as skillful as any team that you'll see. They've got some really good players. I was pleased particularly about earlier on, our passing was pretty good. Second half, not perhaps as good it was earlier, but our closing down as a team was much better than against Romania. We were doing that as a unit, and that's what we've been working at. And that was satisfying.
How pleased were you with your 3 debutants that you had in the end out there?
Yeah, I mean, you know, as the press said in the week, it's tough, you know, and you know that because 2 players right in the centre of defence have got the first game together, and the central midfield players are both attacking players, and they were getting forward a little bit too much together in the first half and left them isolated, which gave us 1 or 2 problems. But as the game went on, they got together, and I thought 2 players that have not got a cap between them done very well.
Do you feel now you're getting the strength in depth in your squad that you want?
Well, I think we are. I think we're getting competition for places. Everyone that's coming in are not disappointing, and they're doing particularly well, which is what I need to have. And I mean, if I'm not playing these players, we wouldn't know. We've got to play them. I keep making that point. Winning the game is not crucial at the moment. It will be further down the line. But it's great to win as well at the same time.
6 games in, 4 victories under your belt. Are you getting frustrated that there's no points being won, that they're all friendlies?
Yeah, well, yeah, it would be nice, but nevertheless, it's good to get good results because that breeds confidence. It makes everyone feel better about each other, believe in what you're doing, and therefore I think that you'll improve that way.
Genuine opposition, weren't they, though, the Nigerians?
Yeah, the last 2 games, I mean, we've said this. We said that Romania and Nigeria will test us. They both have, and we've improved on the last game.
Well, you've got a bit of a break now, so are you going to be able to put your feet up, or is it...
No. Well, there's plenty to do. But it's a shame we can't get out on the training pitch a little bit often. That's the frustration for me.
All right, Terry, well done tonight. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Nick. So, as Nick said, Alan, played 6, 1-4. They're scoring goals, not conceding, but I'm still a little confused as to where we are exactly. When does it get really serious for England?
Well, it's still a while off yet, and that's what we're all waiting for now. You know, it's that cutting edge, the competitive games that we need. But you can only do what's asked of you at this moment. It's not Terry's fault that we're not in any of these competitions, and he's taken over. He's just got to be patient. You can see he's excited about the situation, but he's also a little bit frustrated because he wants it to happen. He wants it, and he's quite aware of a little bit down the line it's going to get tougher and tougher, and that's what we're all looking for now.
Are we making the right progress, Phil?
I think so. I think we were saying before the game is that I think he's got about 6 in his mind who are definite starters in his team, and he's toying around with others. And it's nice to see the likes of Howie and Ruddock come in a difficult game for them and play ever so well. We've not had anybody for Adams and Palace there to give them any problems. So it's nice for them to come along. Then we've got Jones and Lasso. I just think it's given Terry problems for when he is picking his squad. And I just think it's better for English football.
If he had 6 in his mind, Glenn, at the start, he's probably got 7 now. Do you think Dennis Wise did that well, that he's forced his way in now to a situation whereby we think of him as a starter?
Well, I don't know whether Terry's really going to ever get a team where he's going to say, well, that's my 11. I don't think that will happen until the back end of the 2 years when we go into the European Championships. Dennis has obviously thrown his hat in the ring because the performance he put in tonight was as good as any performance since Terry's taken over. But in the long term, I'm just excited that we've got so much talent there in the midfield areas, in Beardsley, Letizia, Wise, Gascoigne, Platt, Lee. You know, the choice there is fantastic. And they're playing a system that gets them turned and going at the team's goal. And I think if he beds it down and gets a few things ironed out, and he's got the time to do it, we're going to be in for a good time.
Well, thank you all for joining us tonight. Glenn Hoddle, Phil Thompson and Alan Ball for your contribution as well.